So, building a coven. I'll pick up where I left off. I never intend to cut, deep or otherwise. Only to be honest. Blasphemy, I know. Depending who you ask. Fucking Alistair. I'm so sorry, he says. But then I'm going to play Hamlet, and then I'll be back and it'll be better than it ever could have been. He tells me, all you see is pointless suffering. But they all assure me it's towards something. I've never felt more lost than now. It's all real, don't worry, Clay tells me. What a fucking mess. It was all a sick fucking joke to her. Ha 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 ha, now he'll think twice about loving anything. And my soul, Willow's, is as black as pitch. Pointless adolescent intrigue. A complete waste of time and resources. I've never wished for anyone to suffer, but now I see some people are deserving of the rack. Annabella chides that she reduced this mountain of a man with a radiant moral compass, and she brought me down to her level. Congratulations, what a conquest. She finally found a mind that she will forever reckon with. Good versus evil. Primeval mess. Fuck you, Willow. Lisa tells me she was shown the poems and fell in love, which Alistair assures me wasn't his design. We're all crying and he's apologizing because he knows I trusted him and that I just need these months to recuperate and I'll be back. This little girl is breaking my heart. She is speaking Spanish to me, and I let her write in my book and helped her count. The two of them, her and her voluptuous mother, sit across the aisle from me on the bus. The bus is moving. Willow asks, "Is it really over?" To which her father replies, "It never even began for you. But hopefully his suffering is coming to a close." Now he knows I have to get to New York from Memphis with no money. And so I have more suffering ahead, in all likelihood. Clay assures me everything's real. And I'm coming back to play the journalist. That Alistair was very adamant in his correspondence, email I believe, about how much he loved me and how much they all love me. That Willow is the only one who loves nothing. She is shallow and weak and cowardly. She has no strength. She has no honor or goodness. Only pure malevolence. I loved a lie. Annabella's father offers his assurances. Tells me everything he said yesterday was true. That now we have this year to set everything right. I awoke hearing Motel Garden State, which again I chided her horrendous tacky taste, and reminded her that the Eagles suck. Though when they said, "And still those voices are calling from far away," she got a nice shiver in her massive, vacuous Grand Canyon of a pussy. What a dumb, meaningless bitch. Behind tears, I say I've never had cause for hope. And Clay says, "Not anymore. We're coming to play Hamlet. We've all been so moved by your strength. And Alistair shows me when Clay told me they were with me. He knew that he could and should ask him if he would or wanted to help. He says he knew I would have wasted away forever, knowing his daughter's malice, knowing we couldn't make the movie. How could he possibly leave me in such a state?" To which I would reply, "How could you raise such a creature?" Seems a better question. He reduces me to some intellectual psychotic whore. To which someone replies, "Have you ever proved yourself otherwise?" And I reminded her, in fact, she is a pseudo-intellectual. A moniker she attempts to dump on me, which I reprove with, "No, I'm a bastard intellectual. I know nothing. You know nothing, but are convinced you know everything. Therefore pseudo. A bastard grows in you nonetheless. Pinnacle, apex evil." It really is perfect. The scene with Lisa at Clan with the line, "Where's your father?" Might require I give the Wook army a nice pregnant pause for the inevitable woo that follows. The Phoenix bus stop is as dumpy as one might suppose, and the desert winter compels one to stay inside. Though a kind, simple hillbilly, now attempting to sleep, gave me my first cigarette in 2 days, and therein I seek and find blessings. Tears. Endless crying and suffering. Again I awoke to music. We'll meet again. I also played when she told me she was pregnant those weeks ago, to which she, Willow, tells me she plays it because she knows I love that song, because I love Stanley Kubrick. And a fervor of voices does their individual best, each one of them, to remind me once more that it wasn't pointless, it's just a couple months. Alistair assures me he doesn't want to ruin my life, he never wanted that, and that I just have to see the good, that I'm going to play Hamlet and it's just a couple months to put distance between us, and that they've all learned so much from me. However, all I see is disgusting bums, within and without. She, have unlocked a practical understanding in me. I have spades of book learning, but now I'm full spectrum. And there is a poetic irony surrounding all of it, with regards to my ambition for how I relate to the world, the arts. I have pure practical understanding. But with regards to eternity, I am enslaved in technical dogma. But now, however, there is overlap, and by my prescience I arrive at holistic psychic technique. In my rage, my frustration at the futility of it all, I blasted that horror with an image of a cyclops getting chainsawed through the top of its head, spraying ribbons of light, splitting open her mind's eye. And now they both, the three of them, the four of them, the seven of them, they all know they can never keep me out. Alistair laments letting her loose on me, and Clay tells me they don't want me devoted to destruction of her and everything any more than Alistair does. And Alistair also recognizes now how unnecessary all his concerns were in the beginning. Neither of us knew what the other one was and is, but now we see opposite sides of the same coin. And if he had just talked to me, all of it would have been avoided, and we would have found our way to where we are together. Because I'm honest and interested in the things I'm interested in, which on an abstract level are the same things he has always been interested in practically. High magic. Alistair interested in ritual, practice, and the yield. Myself interested in the formula and consideration. Beyond my internal strife, I look around at this bus station and see nothing but varying degrees of despair and misery. In here, we're all familiar with the rack. I suspected my mother was thinking about me as I arrived, but the prospect of her still being awake is slim, so I assume Freud holds reign and she dreams about me. Feeling guilty for not sending me a little money before that flight was canceled, she knows I'm special. I am assured I'm not supposed to be there, that when Clay, maybe 10 days ago, came into my mind, I was upset and reassured me that they were all with me. Alistair and Annabella were so moved they knew, and now we're all blubbering like beached whales, all of us, save Lilith. I don't care what she says. Alistair et al. On both coasts tell me I see so far, that I see it, that Clay asked me if playing Hamlet would help convince Alistair because Alistair asked him to help me play Hamlet, not to help convince him, but because he is convinced. But this deed, this action, this monstrous betrayal, he doesn't want it to define the film. And I don't either. Therein Alistair lays it all threadbare. That if we have upwards of 130 people all working the cinematic engine, and the entire time I'm blasting his daughter with psychic images of rage and violence, even if the film is excellent as it must be, none of us will ever associate it with anything but. However, if we wait these months, and I go to Lisa and play Hamlet, we can come together like we should, excited and happy. The first perfect minute approaches. 1 minute to go. Less, it arrives. I devote this magic minute to the solitude of eternity upon the blank page. If I'm maniacally right for at least this 1 minute, unabated, perhaps some subtle deep truth might reveal itself. I'm told I am loved as the minute changes, and I continue sobbing. 9 hours and 4 minutes have passed. At 4:35, At 4:35, I awoke in sexual release, induced by my primary witch, Willow. It has happened before. She says it's to keep me calm, but we all know it is, in truth, to keep her wild. Though my psychic ear is not diminished due to fasting the last 30 hours, 36 thereabouts. I'm a tightrope walking in the sky palace of the mind, suspended in the trees of the rooftop gardens between castles in the air. I took a 15-minute break and smoked 2 hits of marijuana outside in the desert vista with another unfortunate named Roscoe, a young old man of 31 by way of 45 by way of meth pipe. Really nice guy, red thinning hair, stocky, short, simple. Says he's going to Florida from Phoenix to work for his family. He just had his second child 6 months ago. His disposition still seems prone to abuse. He said he would be returning to Phoenix, so the idea of him earning any real money between now and the end of the month vanishes under such time constraints. His IQ is likely 85 or less.